Talking all that bullshit. I'ma put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me, I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Only Friends podcast, my final episode of the week. God, I pray for you all this rest of the week.
No, it's all right.
Just,
you know,
pray for team.
we're gonna get a little nutty.
I saw what you did there. That's good.
So did I. Jesus, man. Put him away.
That's not the nuts I was talking about.
Yes,
Landon
just
No, I mean only underwear.
That is offensive.
wow.
He just showed up in briefs and a shirt.
It's incredible. Wow, your shot looks incredible today.
Flex.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really.
Let's go.
I feel like I've lost some, but it actually looks okay.
Yeah, yeah. Really great camera work. Shout out to Guapo. Welcome back, my man.
Sorta.
Thank you, sir.
We have a fun one today. This is gonna be a short one. I got a flight to catch. I'm on my way to the Great White North. I hear it's cold there. I had no idea.
Canada in January.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad. I expected
It's Canada in January.
So far north.
Yeah, Mercury's in Gatorade.
You're basically going to the Arctic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I expected
Tell Santa I said what up.
Pittsburgh-esque
No.
type of. Wow, you guys, you're popping today.
We are popping.
You are popping.
So anal with the colors.
No, it looks great. I was expecting like Pittsburgh-esque weather, but apparently it's like 0-ish. So I was considering taking my snowboard.
Celsius.
But
That's 0 Celsius.
no.
Oh, damn.
No.
That's 0.
No, that would be way better.
Yeah, that would be 32 degrees.
Yeah, no, we're talking 0 Fahrenheit.
My legs are stronger. They're stronger now.
Thank you for censoring.
Stronger
In
than I was.
pre-production,
Hey, Brittany.
in pre-production, the question came up of what do you contribute to this podcast, Landon? And the only thing we could come up with was chewing nuts into the microphone.
It's so hot in here. I'm literally sweating.
Take your sweatshirt off.
But then it's the
No,
same.
we
Don't
can't.
encourage him to start taking off.
Yes.
more clothes.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. Where the hell's the blanket? Gave you shit yesterday,
stop.
and now there's no blanket when you need it.
How did you wear a blanket the day you wore pants, and then just the day you it's
He's
on
backwards.
purpose. It's on purpose.
Yeah, it is.
It's definitely on purpose.
It's gotta
Bro's
be
trying to show off the fucking stems.
Right. He's trolling
I
us.
have good legs
He,
now.
he thinks he's a runway model of
I
some
don't
sort.
think I'm a runway model.
It's like wearing briefs around.
Honestly, the fact that it's all black too, where the lighting is like just dark enough that it kind of looks like an abyss. It looks like he just has like chicken legs growing out of like this black abyss.
Yeah. Just like, look.
I come from the void.
Why? Look how normal I look.
Yeah, you look
Right? I
normal.
got jeans on. I got a t-shirt.
Yeah, look at this guy.
Honestly, if they were
Chilling.
just like 4 inches longer,
Right.
it would be fine.
Look, Lamanna's ready to go hang a painting up in your house.
Yeah.
You know?
What does that even fucking mean?
I don't know, man. You look,
I have no
He's saying you look like a handyman.
yeah, you look really handy.
I am handy.
You know?
Do whatever you need.
Get you a step ladder.
Yeah. What do you need?
Get you a level.
Yeah.
You know?
You know?
You just really be in there doing the hard stuff.
Handyman X.
Find
Tony
the stud.
Horton.
Find the stud.
There he is.
There he is.
Speaking of studs, Eric Persson, man. What a G, huh? Top dog.
Follow the pattern.
Follow the pattern, you know? Such a
pattern.
nit. He put a clip out yesterday, really shredded me. I mean,
Is that a tattoo?
of all the
I don't think you're ever gonna emotionally recover from this.
Yeah, I don't really know how I could. So I bet pot and a half on the turn here. And he's gonna check raise me with bottom pair and a flush draw. The non-believer. We call.
It's kind of reasonable.
Yeah, it seems okay. It's probably has better candidates, but whatever. River, bad card.
Probably the
Bad
worst
card.
card in the deck. according to some people.
76,000 in the pot. Probably want to go something like, I don't know, 75% pot. Give me a chance to call with one pair. But my man got greedy. He went for a pot and a half, or a pot and a quarter, pot and a third, whatever. Bet 100K. I said, I think that's the worst card in the deck. He said, what about the 5 of clubs? I actually think the 6 of clubs is worse. 8-10 gets there, 5-4 gets there, clubs get there. You know, I'm gonna let it go.
What a fish.
So I haven't seen this before. Why is he folded?
I'm not sure, Melissa. What he said
You know,
in the
he would have
comments.
bluffs there.
Yeah, what he said in the comments is that he doesn't have to have better than ace king, but he bet really big.
He doesn't have to have better than ace king.
Right.
As in he could be value betting worse.
I'm not sure what he meant.
Joking. You know?
The game
But
is
he's got
gone.
ace queen. He's got ace queen.
He doesn't have ace queen. I can tell you that. I don't know what he thinks his bluffs are in this particular spot. Pretty tough to find. I think clubs get there.
Can we go back to
All
the
the
board?
straights get there. It's ace 7-3 rainbow, 9 of clubs, 6 of clubs.
He defended a blind.
Yes.
He could have it goes bet check or check back call.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have like 10-8.
Then overbet.
What spot?
10-8's the nuts.
Or like a hand like it, like Jack 8, right?
Yeah. I mean,
It's very hard to have a bluff here.
Jack 8 of clubs, perhaps.
He'd have to bluff with like turned 2-pair block.
Sure.
Like
Sure.
king 9 backdoor.
King 9 of diamonds.
And then
Yeah.
he has to bet 1.5x pot on the river.
Yeah. So we can agree he has no bluffs then? Okay.
Tough.
Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. Sorry, Eric. I wish I could have paid you off.
What spawned this tweet? Like, what? This was just out of
Bro,
nowhere.
I
Like, he
don't
wanted
know
to pull
what-
a hand from like months ago and be like, "Look at this idiot! Fold the best hand. Fold the worst hand to me."
Yeah, I'm confused on the strategy of the social media strategy.
Well, we're
But,
talking about it, so maybe it's working.
Yeah, I guess maybe it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just supposed
Listen,
to be.
he's playing. He's over there playing 4D chess.
He's
okay?
leading with confusion.
Yeah.
While we're on this subject of social media, because
With confusion.
because no one's more confused than bro right here. Okay, I'm just about as confused as they get. Well, almost Guapo, almost. You're very close. There it is.
Yeah, I knew we were missing something.
There it is. That's. mhm.
Wait, we have to see the difference.
Oh, it's gonna make a world of
Yeah.
difference.
I kind of
Show,
like.
show
I'm
that
not sure if
bridge.
you guys are trolling me or not.
No,
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 no.
it really does.
No,
Show that bridge.
Look at the difference. Go ahead. Oh my
Oh
God!
my
What a difference!
We're back.
Notice
They're
that.
back. Look, now you can actually see the abyss that Landon's legs come from.
Look at those legs. Look at them shining.
Oh my
They're
God!
beautiful.
Shiny,
hack squats.
shimmering,
Yeah.
splendid.
It's a good song. Good movie.
All right, talking about social media strategy because I obviously
Melissa's so confused.
What the fuck's going on?
We're leading with confusion.
I'm having trouble following this, and that's saying
Follow
a
the
lot.
pattern, Melissa.
Okay,
God.
following the pattern. Got it.
all right. So in order, Eric Persson put out a video of me correctly folding top pair, top kicker,
Nice.
which is probably the best hand that I can have there.
Kind of a highlight reel.
All things considered, I could have better flushes. That would have been fun. Just shoving on him. So he went that route. We had Jay Little apparently putting a tweet out that was a quote of Daniel from the Super High Roller Bowl, which nobody knew except for Daniel, of course, where he very offhandedly said that he check folded ace 10 versus Nikki P on queen 9-4 rainbow. And it doesn't matter if it's losing 0.6 big blinds, it's a way for him to save money, yada, yada, yada. This obviously sparked great debate because Jay Little just tweeted it as fact, even though there's probably no scenario where ace 10 is losing 0.6 big blinds. And it spurned a big back and forth. And Daniel and I, we left the conversation on pretty angry terms. I wasn't very happy with him. He threw a lot of daggers my way. Whatever. We'll both get over it.
Now he's never gonna come on the pod.
He's got to come on to defend himself.
Yeah.
Man.
Why'd you have to do that?
But I will give the man credit.
Melissa's the real victim here.
Yeah,
Not gonna
I'm
get
the
them-
victim in all of this.
I understand. I get it. I will give Daniel a lot of
The
credit.
kids.
He's so committed to the bit that he actually made somewhere in the neighborhood of a half big blind mistake at the final table just to demonstrate that he's willing to stick to his guns. Here we see Dean Eggs check
Man's
folding
got conviction.
pocket nines for a one big blind C bet on ace 5 deuce just to commit to the bit. Like, I don't care what you kids say about all your machines and your tools and your solvers. I am not gonna give it up. So here he is with 33, 35 big blinds, whatever. Lonis has him covered, single raise pot. Lonis has a one big blind C bet, and Dean Eggs just waves the white flag.
Yeah.
I don't know
this
what
is-
it's losing.
This is tortoise approved, by the way.
I'm sure it
very,
is.
very tortoise approved, and I am all here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for the memes.
Right, because Easter egg, if you don't make a set, you can't make a bet.
That's right. Hey, relax. My tips of the day, they don't come free, okay?
Only
That's-
on Twitter at 2 p.m.
We already put out a tip of the day today for MTTs. The next MTT tip of the day won't be for plenty time down the road. But yes, no set, no bet. That is a future tip of the day. The tip of the day today for you kids is the ICM independent chip model. It's complex. It's often flawed. And the only purpose of it is to estimate the value of one stack in a tournament, help you curate a strategy off of that perhaps, and make cautious decisions like folding middle pair. But if instead you would like to maximize your opportunity at the big money without slaving over all these ICM calculations, follow this quick and easy tip. Just cash out.
I like that.
Cash out. You got 1.9 million in chips. Don't worry about defending the big blind with nines. Just head right to the cashier.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know why more people don't do that.
I don't either. You know, it's like my grandmother always told me, why didn't you cash out?
Right.
And, you know, I have to ask myself the question, why didn't I?
The Academy.
If you want more tips like
If you
this,
want more tips and tricks like this, be sure to like, give it a reshare, head
Click
to
the bell.
academy.solveforwhy.io. You can be sure to get all of the breakdowns like this whenever we run our next academy. Next academy is a cash academy, so
That'd be kind of interesting if there was actually a tournament like that, where if the cage bought your chip stack at ICM but at a premium.
they've done things like this.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's like forced ICM value as you get down to certain points, but I think you get penalized in some capacity. I don't remember. I just know it never took off.
There was like a
Seneca Niagara ran
They
one.
did it online, didn't they? Wasn't there tournaments that run online where you could cash out at some point?
I vaguely recall this, but I
Yeah.
don't know what site was attempting
They
it.
just removed all of your chips from play
Mm-hmm.
and gave you money and then
Mhm.
adjusted the prize pool?
Yeah,
Wow.
but I think you got like a semi-bad deal.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I
Yeah,
was
you're
going with that.
disincentivized to do it, obviously. They're not going to give you a good deal. That would work.
Right.
Right.
They give you more than yours.
Right.
But like
You get a semi-bad deal. Everybody else who stays in the tournament gains
they
a
make
little
a little
EV.
bit of EV. Yeah. It's kind of interesting though, because even like if you're talking about like a really big money final table, like let's take the World Series main event for example, and say that it was this scenario where you could just like quote unquote cash out. If you're like, I don't know, fourth in chips going to the final table, and a bad deal would let you cash out for like just over fifth place money. Ain't that bad of a deal.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You know, like you just get to skip the pressure of playing the final table and just like take 2 million.
Why would you want to deprive yourself of that experience?
That's true. And honestly, that payout structure kind of incentivizes play.
Yeah.
Like ninth place is $1 million, fourth place is like 2.2.
Yeah, you're already guaranteed $1 million. Just fucking YOLO it.
It's cash
I feel
out.
like the closest most people will be to that amount of money, like top prize. So
Mhm.
what other opportunity will you get to like possibly make
Yeah.
$1 million
Well, I think
if you're
that's why
that close?
people like sell publicly at close to ICM value, because being able to hedge in that scenario is just like worth a lot.
Yeah.
Because when you're hedging, you're including your opportunity to win first place money, right? So that helps a lot. Where if the chip stacks are like really close, for instance, and maybe like 5 people are on average earning somewhere around like third place money, that's pretty fucking nice, because the likelihood of you finishing third is not nearly as high as you being able to sell for that. And it's interesting because as a buyer, you should want a discount, I think. Like I remember Amir Levitt was one of the first people to sell his stack at the final table of the World Series for ICM. He sold, I think, like 25% or something along those lines. He sold publicly on 2+2. And I just remember thinking like, this is tough, because like, you know, he might have been like one of the top 3 or 4 stacks. I can't recall. And he's selling for like around that place finish. It's like, I mean, this is where the model feels broken, because it's like, well, you're selling because you know you're not going to finish in that place that often. And you need to finish at least there for me to break even on my investment. So I'm like really gambling that you're going to hit like the, 20% streak that you finish in that place or higher. And honestly, like the last place guys become a way better buy.
Yeah, the last place guys are good buys.
Right,
yeah,
because
for
they have more positions to ladder.
way more upside.
Yeah, it's like if you're buying them at like 8th place money and they're last in chips, so it's like, well, they only need to ladder one spot and you break even. Now we're fucking free rolling. Let's go,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
But if you buy the chip leader and you're paying like second
They
and a
gotta win
half.
the fucking thing.
Yeah, you're paying like second and a half
Yeah.
place money. Well, then now they all of a sudden they have to get second or better. It's like,
Yeah.
that's a big fucking ask. You know, you buy a piece of Matsu and he just goes out fucking ninth. It's like, oh no, we just torched it.
One
Yep.
time I got paid for a bet in an ICM value of somebody's stack. So Marchington owed me 2K. He gave me a piece of one of the people he had a piece of in a WPT.
I remember this.
They
At a final
probably they
table.
won.
won
They
it.
won the fucking.
He
thing.
won
the
it.
bet
This is typical
100%.
Landon.
So it was worth 2K, and then he won it, which was about 4.7.
Yeah. Yeah, that
That
makes a lot of
that
sense.
that is a Landon story.
That's a
if I've ever
very
heard
Landon
one.
story if I've ever heard one, for sure.
LLP. Landon Lucky Peace.
Some people are just blessed
Real.
in life.
All you people out there looking to win a fucking event, don't worry about my tip of the day. Just find a lucky swap with Landon.
Can't win my own. Have to do it to
Yeah,
others.
all you have to do is pay a 5% premium to this man right here.
Sorry
and
to this man.
You're just guaranteed to ship shit. One person who had no problem shipping it did not take my advice to cash out and is all the better for it. He has now won $229,500. And he did it on my birthday.
He
One and only Jay Little.
It's incredible.
If spite isn't a motivator, man,
Oh.
I don't know what more can get
It's
shit done.
Just
Like,
amazing.
it's so funny
Congrats
because
to him.
after he won, I'm like looking, my mentions are just blowing up, obviously.
Of course.
And it's a mix of like people like dunking on me, which they deserve to. It's fine. And then just like Jay Little liking every single one of them. I'm like, bro, go enjoy your fucking win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is him
Like,
enjoying
Yeah,
his
that
win.
sounds enjoyable.
That is one- like,
Sounds
yeah,
enjoyable
that's
to
like he's
me.
having a fucking ball.
That is true. You gotta
Oh, good for
respect
him.
it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The best part is that like you see all the times that he likes them.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Every one of them. It's just like there will be like my name tagged in a thread. There will be like eat a dick Berkey and he's just liking
Shut up,
it.
bitch.
Shut up, bitch. You know, it's just like it's too good. We truly are living in a sim. The fact that like D-Negs both check folded a hand making that much money and Jay Little went out and won. Like if those aren't the two most
On your
spiteful things,
Right.
yeah, if those aren't the most, if those two things aren't the most motivated things by spite that you've ever seen, I don't know what could be. And I have to tell you, as like an onlooker who just is here to do commentary on whatever content fucking presents itself, I'm so in. I'm so here for this. Like, I love the fact that this is the sim that has been chosen for us.
Yeah, it is funny
It's just too good.
It's like, people talk about the NFL being rigged.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's just
Yeah.
like no, we're living in a sim. Reality is rigged.
Right.
Right? It's
Yeah.
already rigged.
Yeah. I
just
think
like-
that's fact.
The
Yeah.
strings that be want to see you become the villain.
That's fine. Honestly, that's fine. Like,
We
I
all
don't.
want to see it too.
I don't think I play either role all that well, hero or villain.
Anti-hero.
Listen, listen, you talk about it in the academy, it's all about polarization. And that's you, Burke. You are Mr. You're Mr. Polarization.
Okay.
It's my birthday, y'all.
Moving on.
birthday,
That was
y'all.
not me who tweeted it. It was Melissa who took over my Twitter.
Liar. Liar.
I deleted it.
Yeah.
I
Because
shouldn't
you
have.
had second thoughts.
I honestly shouldn't
Why
have.
would
It
you
was.
delete that?
I saw that
because I
tweet.
thought it was too believable that I
I
would
know,
do
that's
it.
why it was so good.
No, I saw the tweet and I was just
'Cause
like,
people didn't even think that he
I
was
like,
hacked.
wow, that's just really off-brand right there. For Berkey to do.
to sit,
And then
announce his
I
own
clicked
birthday.
on it because I was like, I gotta read these comments, right? And it said it was deleted. I'm like, oh, he had second thoughts
It was just
about
people
it.
saying happy birthday.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, for as off-brand as it was for me, it wasn't on-brand enough for Melissa for it to be clear that I didn't do it.
I know.
Right.
That's why I did that on purpose.
Yeah, and like you
is
know,
perfect.
You see the issue now.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, oh, he's gonna get so
like, I
many
mean,
happy
like, yeah.
birthday.
Like the I
It
shit
wasn't
my
like-
the I shit my pants one.
Yeah.
I just left it up.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's like, I'm
like,
taking
wow.
a big shit for my birthday. It's like Berkey on the toilet.
All right, yeah, clearly that's Melissa. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we need to talk about this. Now, I didn't bring photographic evidence or anything along those lines, but we need a very quick, brief friend court intermission here.
Dun, dun.
Why do you keep putting poop in the water?
Because when whoever emptied it doesn't refill it, I put the poop in.
Okay, well, here's
Wait.
something.
What?
But it's not real poop.
It's
Oh,
fake
it's fake
floating
but
poop.
that doesn't make it
That's
any better.
foam. But so like there's just a lot of instances where I walk down to get water and it's just empty and nobody's replaced it from. It's literally happens multiple times a week that I I'm like, what the fuck? So I just
So you replace it, but you put.
I've stopped doing the poop for a while, and now I've restarted the poop thing because I
Okay.
just need
Well,
to send a message.
If the poop is any indicator, it's not as frequent as you're suggesting. The poop's been in there thrice.
I said I just restarted the poop thing.
But you've been swapping the water
Yeah,
daily.
a lot, not
I
daily.
see. Okay.
Not daily, maybe like twice a week.
Okay.
Where do you keep the fake poop?
Next to the water.
Okay.
Right.
So it's
Just in
relatively
case.
clean.
Yeah, I wash it before I put it in.
Okay, that's good.
I think I'm sad I didn't bring evidence of this, and we didn't do this in pre-production because I would really like a ruling from Judge Lamanna here.
Well, just fucking replace it when you empty the water like that. Who's doing that, Landon?
Yeah, it seems
not-
like
the
this
point is
I
very.
refuse to be gaslit.
This is like very on brand for what I like think
Experience here
is
at the-
like
at the
what
studio.
would be going on. Yeah, that and what would be going
Like,
on
if
at your
you-
house. Like
if you're getting
I would think
water,
that, like,
why
yeah,
would you fill your water, see that it's empty, and walk away?
Because that it takes time and effort to change it.
That I do, and I'm the smallest one, and the water's not
No,
light.
I saw those guns you put up earlier in the
like-
show. Like
You guys think you're big, strong, but you can't lift the goddamn water jug? Like, it's pathetic.
I mean, here's the thing: when it's empty, I change it. If
When
it's not empty,
when it's empty, I change it.
if it's not empty, I don't touch it.
Well,
Well,
someone's
somebody's
lying because
dropping the ball.
I've changed it for you guys.
But you
Well,
know,
well, you
you know how these
understand.
things work, right? Like there's still water in the reservoir, so like you can replace it while there's still a little bit of water
Sure,
left.
you could.
It doesn't have to like stop dripping
Sure.
before you
Well, the thing
replace
is, like,
the bottle.
and then like when you walk away, it fills the reservoir, and then it's empty. So it's like,
Well,
okay, it's the same thing as leaving it empty if you leave like a half inch of water.
No,
in
it's
it.
not.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
Yeah, it kind of is.
what do you mean?
What do you mean?
If there's water in the
You walk away, it empties into the reservoir, and I walk down, and there's a fucking empty jug. I don't care what happened before then. I walk down, and the jug's empty,
Let's
and the jug
go.
is empty, and that's rude.
and that's that.
For what it's worth, in Melissa's defense, it does take an entire jug of water to fill her Stanley Cup.
I never leave it empty.
The thing is, like, maybe actually this is maybe not to her defense, but like maybe there was like a half a jug of water left.
Right.
And she
No,
fills her Stanley Cup
I'm
and
not
it's empty.
No, I'm not talking about. I'm sorry. Before I even start filling, it's empty. Not
Okay.
after. If it's empty after I fill, that was me that emptied.
Didn't you
it.
say there was water in the reservoir?
If there's water in the reservoir, it doesn't matter, because if the jug is empty, then you've not done your part.
But how do you know the jug is empty unless you like touch the jug and see that it's empty?
Because
Just
you
look at it,
You
you know?
look
Yeah.
at it with your eyes.
Yeah, but if you're not looking, I mean, you're just pouring
Oh,
water. Water's
no.
still coming out.
you look at it with your eyes,
I
and
gotta
it's
tell you,
empty.
if I get a full stream as I'm ending my pour, I'm not taking a second look. Like, I'm just good. Like, there's clearly still water in there. So the next person will be fine.
I think I agree with Melissa on this one. If you're looking at
You
the actual
would.
jug,
if
You
the jug is
apologist.
empty,
Jesus Christ.
fucking replace.
I mean,
if it's replaceable,
overall, I'm on
replace
your
it.
side, Melissa. Like, I think, like, hey, you know,
or
yeah,
you're gonna
like,
get the poo in there every time, which clearly you guys are okay with, because I'm just gonna keep doing the poo. And
You should do it every time so that there's a counter of how often you replace the jug, because I'm of the impression that the jug probably gets replaced 5-6 times a week.
You have to start counting.
more.
You think we go through more than 5 gallons a day? I don't think so.
5 gallons a day.
It's a 5-gallon jug.
Is
so-
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-gallon jugs.
So maybe 5 or 6 times a week the jug gets replaced, I would say, on average. And it's like,
I don't
I'm
know.
probably
I
replacing it
feel
once
you're
or
moving
twice.
The goalpost.
Why am I moving the goalpost? You
Because
drink
it
the
doesn't-
water too.
Because
You
I
should
don't
be.
think it matters how many times it gets replaced. It's just a matter of if you empty it, replace it.
No. We all
He's
drink the
saying-
water. We all should replace the water.
I replace it every time it's emptied when I'm there.
But like, so do we. That's our point.
No, you don't, because I've walked down to an empty jug multiple times and replaced it,
Is
and
it-
I'm
is it
annoyed
possible that
every
you're
time.
just-
You know what? And when I was sick on my deathbed with a goddamn fever, I literally was screaming. I almost cried because I was so weak. And one of you selfish pieces of shit left the fucking empty jug when I have a 103.5 fever, and I'm down there and I have no
why this is
strength,
so
and I
funny.
can't
It shouldn't
fucking
be.
lift it up, and I'm freaking out, and none of you are there to help because you're a selfish asshole.
I think it's especially funny because literally no one was there. Like, Landon was in Florida. Conrad was.
Who emptied it? It wasn't me.
Your fever ass.
No, it wasn't me. Because I refill it when I empty it, and that's what you don't get.
We'll find out. We're gonna have a poop counter.
No, we won't find out. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There's nothing to find out. I'm telling you. You guys are not doing your part with the jug.
We'll know. If the poop counter, drastically increases.
No, we won't know. We know now. We won't. We will know.
Here's my suspicion. I think that there's water in the jug, but if you tip the jug, then the reservoir will completely full to the point where it's
if that
brim.
happens, you should. If you're able to take the water off, it's empty.
No, I'm not saying can immediately move the jug and no issue, but I'm saying you can rock the jug, let the rest of the water come out, fill the remainder.
That's not
of the
what
reservoir.
I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about
That's
a complete.
a very, very
and
small
also it's
window
a very,
of time.
Because when I get down to that level, I just tilt it and then I replace it. But so whatever. If you don't want to do that, then that's fine. You're kind of selfish, but it's whatever. But what I'm talking about is I'm walking down to empty jug with actually not even a full reservoir.
I will say,
half full.
I will say that there is a very consistent, theme of it happening on Sundays.
Yes.
I'm just saying it happens on Sundays.
It does happen a lot on Sundays.
Yeah.
Everybody's home playing online.
Nobody's home except Landon.
Yeah, and apparently it takes too long to take 30 seconds to refill the jug. You guys work on your muscles all the time for no reason. Can't even lift a 45-pound jug.
You're lifting one right now. That Saturday Night Live skit was so good.
That's good.
Whenever she's drinking out of the straw, she's like, I love the taste of bacteria. Melissa at one point texts the group and goes,
I have mold in it all the time.
there's mold in my straw.
I just cleaned it, but there's often mold in
Yeah, that I feel like that
I'm getting lead.
that whole setup wasn't very well thought out.
There's too many crevices.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that
it's too
being
much for mold to catch on to.
Because the thing is with these types of jugs, I have a bunch of them. I have 2 of these and then another 6 different ones from whatever the most popular one used to be. I can't remember the
Nalgene's?
Yeti?
No.
Oh,
Yeti. Yeah.
Yeti.
I have a bunch of them, whatever. But the thing is that you don't realize that.
Oh, and Hydro Flask is.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Hydro Flask is what I have. But you don't realize you're drinking out of it every day. You're not thinking twice about it. You're like, well, it's a steel water jug. I'm just putting water in it. Not big deal. And you're like, oh wait, but my spits.
Yeah.
I'm spitting.
Yeah, and I just don't really
thing.
care that much about it.
You should when the mold forms.
When I see mold, I clean it and I take all the parts of. But it's it happens a little more often than I.
The seal in these, I really love these. These are, what is this called? The ice shaker. I think these were on Shark Tank. They're incredible. Perfect lid. You know how some of the Yetis, they have those annoying lids where whenever you start to drink out of it, goes like this,
oh, it bubbles.
Yeah, and you can't really get the full drink.
I like straws.
They have straws for it too. Not for this particularly, but for some of the Yetis, they have the coffee lids or whatever.
and we're demonetized.
But these are perfect. Everything about this is the perfect gym shaker. They have small and large, so a 20 ounce or a 32 ounce or whatever. Everything about it's great, but there's a seal on the inner half of the lid. And I drink my pre-workout of this and I never think twice about it. And every so often I'll look at it and it'll just be covered in black spores.
Yeah.
And it stinks so bad. And it's oh my God, I'm fucking
gross.
killing myself.
That's gross.
It's just so dumb.
It's probably less dangerous than the Teflon plastic that you ingest.
It's not the the pan is intact. It's definitely the plastic.
Okay, well, the
but
plastic
it's
you
okay.
Inhale on a daily basis.
It's okay, Melissa. We've burnt the entire handle off now. There's nothing left but a screw.
Get rid of it.
I can't now.
You're not poor. Just get a new pan.
You look poor.
Yeah, but you can't develop the same emotional
He
attachment.
has
Exactly.
a literal attachment emotionally to
Well,
the
at this
pan.
After he
point-
wanted to throw it out, mind you.
I did want to throw it out, but then you made a huff about it, and
And now he's attached.
I'm not going to let Landon's $4 pan go to waste.
As you shouldn't.
Right, exactly. I've now claimed it as pancake pan.
But I don't know how you keep making the Teflon get into the house.
There's no more
plastic.
Teflon.
It's
No,
the
no.
plastic from the handle that he completely burnt off.
It's gone. It's
Nobody
totally gone.
else had an issue.
I
Yeah, it's completely
still
gone.
smell it often.
It was
I don't
just,
think it's gone.
it was
It
just the
haunts
last
you.
time. Conrad witnessed it. I burned off the rest of the plastic. It's
It
great.
haunts Melissa for the rest of her days.
Yeah, it hurts to breathe. It stings. I feel like I'm breathing in needles. Because I live upstairs. It all rises up.
Yeah.
Maybe we found the root to your sickness.
This is how I feel whenever
They're
I drink the poop
poisoning
water.
me.
Not they.
They're poisoning me.
Not they. He.
Mhm.
There's only one person that uses that pan. There's one poisoner.
I haven't even gotten to.
You introduced it.
You
into
did
the
introduce
house.
it.
Don't you dare.
No, you did.
I never
Here's the
caused a
thing.
problem, though.
Here's the thing. I didn't even start using the second one yet that still has its handle intact.
No, I'm gonna throw it away.
No.
I'm gonna throw it away.
Please, anything but the pan.
Bring it to the office. We need more
No,
pans
no,
here.
no. Don't. Well, okay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. All right. We have an update on the Anthony Zinno case, if you will.
Dun dun.
I'm going to struggle to pronounce this last name. Corel Thuma, let's go with that, was the victim of alleged crime. And he replied in a thread that Andrew Moreno quote tweeted of Potential. Potential deleted it. He said that Zinno denied it and asked me to remove the thread. And then he referenced our pod, basically saying, like, you know, we put up the original Facebook post, whatever. So Corel came in, and I think obviously it's worth telling both sides of this story. He said, as the victim, I'm confirming it, so you can feel free to put it back up. Didn't realize Zinno had authority to limit freedom of speech. Now, I mean, I don't think that's what's happening. It's just like we don't really know the ins and outs because there's no police report yet. But I'll definitely take this thread into account. He says, I'm working on getting my hands on the police report. We'll share once I have it. Then he goes into the whole story of what happened that fateful night. He said, just so I have my side of the story published, because I don't want people to assume my silence as any form of shadiness. After bagging the 3K, I left my backpack under my chair, which that detail I wasn't aware of. They made it sound like it was on a break. So this is way, way, way different, right? Like he just completely left the venue.
He like forgot his backpack.
Yeah, he had forgotten it after bagging. He was already in the cab. He realized and sprinted back down the long hallway. Cameras can show this, to retrieve my bag. The dealer was still at our table fixing the cards. I did not find the bag there. I asked security. I asked Lost and Found. Nothing. The next day I called Lost and Found office and they told me that somebody had returned the bag, but it had only had $1,000 in it. I know for a fact and will do my best to prove that I had $20K inside. Those close to me know my financial circumstances, and so there's simply no reason for me to lie about that amount. I went to pick up the bag back and filed a police report. That night, I was called in by the high-up security officers at Encore. They said Metro was there and wanted to speak to me as they had the suspect in custody. Once I arrived, I saw Zinno locked up and being questioned. I have not reviewed the footage myself. I can only go on what the security officers shared with me that night, and the reason they told me he was banned from the Wynn properties for good. That there was footage of Anthony taking the bag and going into the bathroom with it. This will be my last public statement on the matter. I'm working with law enforcement and my lawyers to track down the police report. Once I get my hands on it, I'll share my findings under the guidance of my legal team. So this is a lot more detailed than the original Facebook post. You know, when the original Facebook post came out, it was like, well, this is just kind of reiterating a bunch of hearsay that we had heard grumblings of over the past month or so. And I don't want to get in the habit of just like publicly dragging somebody off of some sort of hearsay or, you know, like one-off statement. It's different when it's the actual person who is the victim in this instance, right? And like even from that post, it made it sound like he had like left his bag on his chair during break and like, you know, just disappeared off into the venue and came back and, you know, money had been taken out of it, whatever. So obviously now this is a very different story. And I think these details are, you know, potentially very damning of Anthony if any of this proves to be true. Him being banned from the Wynn, you know, the police report actually coming to light, demonstrating that he was actually in custody. The Facebook thing that we read last week kind of implied that he's going to have a hearing over all this stuff. So point is that with both sides of the story now, well, I guess like Zinno's side isn't really out there, and maybe he just can't speak on it publicly, but like with another source corroborating the side of Zinno having taken the book bag and everything else, it's worth reiterating, like, you know, be wary, wary, yeah, wary,
be
and
tired.
God, I always get that wary, weary, leery, Larry. Be
Larry.
Be Larry.
Be Larry. Be wary.
Be scary.
Of just like, you know, who you're doing business with. Like, you know, I said my dealings with Zinno have always been on the up and up, and I had no reason to assume that he's a part of some criminal enterprise in this instance or is desperate for money. But there are a lot of rumors floating around, and this person, Carell, is the victim of the crime. So, take it with a grain of salt. I think it's worth putting a lot of stock when someone comes forward and they're basically saying that, there is a police report. I'm going to get my hands on it. When I do, it'll come public. That's a lot of I don't know if evidence is the right word, but it's a lot of signs pointing to B. Larry.
He's standing on business.
Yeah. So I don't know what comes of this. I don't know if it's retrievable for him to ever get his $20K back. I don't even know if he can press charges beyond like petty
theft.
theft.
Hard to even prove that there was
Right.
$20K in there.
Right. That's the
How
thing.
do you
It's like
prove that? I'm surprised that police even took him into custody because you can't prove that there was $20K.
Well, it would make sense though if it may not have been in custody, right? It might have just been questioning him as being a suspect, and the footage of him taking the book bag into the bathroom, I think, is probably
That's pretty
circumstantially damning.
He was
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it'd be
walking like one of those old robbers in the cartoon.
The sack.
what was the Mad TV or sorry,
Spy vs. Spy?
Yeah, Spy vs. Spy. You guys are way too young for this, but it's the black and white mirror image of one another.
Mm-hmm.
One's the good guy, one's the bad guy. I think that there's an image of him with just the money sack over his shoulder.
Yeah.
With the long.
It's got a dollar sign on it.
Yeah, of course. Wow. How would you know it's a money sack if it doesn't have a dollar sign on it,
Right.
Brian?
Exactly.
This isn't the win. It's not just a book bag with infinite money laying around.
Do we know if Zinno has a relationship with Carell as far as like a personal relationship? Because you would think if they know each other that the first thing he would do is give him a call and be like, "Hey man, your bag's here."
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not
How do you know it's
personally I don't personally know Carell, but it seems as though he is well off outside of poker and plays a lot of these events. So a lot of people were saying basically it could be something where if Zinno is guilty of this, he knew ahead of time that there's very likely to be money in there.
You understand what I'm saying, though. Right?
I do understand what you're saying, but maybe they just don't know each other, right? And the fact that he turned it into security, I think, is a point in his favor. I don't know. I don't even know.
I think.
But why? It doesn't help you that you went into the bathroom first.
Maybe
that's the problem.
You would think that you would make it very deliberate to hold the thing in the air.
No, I mean,
What if he
maybe just
really
had
had
to
to
use
go?
the bathroom.
Then I just wouldn't take
Just
the
you
bag.
find a book bag, you're hey!
Because you don't know that there's
It's very sus because obviously he found the bag while the dealer was still at the table. Who's that? All right, Siri. There's clearly from this story, if this is accurate, which it seems like it probably is, it sounds as though when he came back to the table, the book bag was gone and the dealer was still there, which means that if Anthony did take the book bag, then he took it from out underneath the chair or whatever with the dealer supervising it. So he basically pretended for it to be his, if that's the case, right?
Yeah.
And then casually walked to the bathroom or sprinted, who knows?
If you had intentions on being
a good Samaritan.
you just tell the dealer, "Hey, I think somebody left their bag
Right.
here. Make sure it gets to the right
and then
person."
usually they'll deal with it.
Yeah, of course. I tell the floor. So the floor's probably still there.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, so much. I don't want to say petty stuff, but so much, small scale theft, cheating, what have you. There's so much that's happening live and online, and has always been the case, right? As poker scales, there's just more opportunity for people to be opportunistic and take advantage of some sort of weakness that is created either in a person or in a system. And it's important that we point out the people who are guilty of it whenever they are, and try to police or self-police the community as much as we possibly can. But at the end of the day, we also have to recognize that there is some just inherent risk to the way we all operate our lives. I remember when the Bellagio bandit was first a thing, right, on the scene. So the whole story behind this was he knocked off the Suncoast first as like a practice attempt. And then he robbed the Bellagio, and then Lamanna and I had the
cage or the people.
The cage. Yeah.
Oh.
So he robbed I think it was the craps
poker room
tables.
cage. Oh,
It's
at
Suncoast. It was
I've
poker.
always
Yeah.
thought the craps tables seem like too easy to get your hands on because there's like
All
so
those
many
chips.
chips like
Yes.
right in people's
big
reach.
chips too,
And I'm
yeah.
like so surprised that they do it like that.
Well, big chips are smart for them because they're impossible to cash.
right.
Right. So
They
that's
got
what
chips
ended
in
up happening. That's how he got caught. He took like $1 million in cranberries and couldn't wash them. So he had
Oh my
like
God.
he had stolen like 1.7 total, and like 700K was in 5Ks and below, and then $1 million-ish in cranberries.
How did he manage to do that with nobody watching?
It wasn't that nobody was watching. He just walked in with a motorcycle helmet, held a gun, and said, "Give me all of your chips."
Oh, okay.
And they're
Yeah.
trained.
Of course.
They're trained to just like give it up.
I thought he
right?
was
Right.
sneaking.
No. No, it was a smash and grab.
Yeah, it was a
kind of
smash and
thing.
grab situation. And I remember when that happened. So what ended up happening when he got desperate was, and I don't know if this was ever actually corroborated or not, but like we were pretty confident that this was the case. Do you remember the robberies that were happening outside of the Nugget and Red Rock? Josh got followed home.
Right. Yeah.
My brother got held up at Red Rock.
Oh, you told us that, yeah, in the
At knife
parking
point,
lot,
yeah.
yeah. So allegedly, the Bellagio bandit and one of his partners had followed one of our friends home to his garage, robbed him in the garage. I can't remember if it was a gunpoint or knife point or whatever.
It was a gunpoint.
yeah. Took like a few thousand off of him. They basically like marked him when he was playing 2-5 or 5-10 at
Yeah.
Red Rock. They got him. Then there was another incident where someone got robbed in the stairwell at the Golden Nugget after we were like playing a bigger game there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were playing like 2-5-10 uncapped, and the game got kind of big. It was alleged that this was all the Bellagio bandit. And I remember at the time writing a blog post about how critical it is for live poker players to not be sloppy with making yourself a mark, right? Like, because when you sit down, and this is far less applicable to tournament players. So like by no means am I saying like Corel did anything wrong. Like of course you brought a book bag, you had money in it, it was secure on your person, you happened to forget it, and then a series of unfortunate events there followed. But more so what I'm talking about with like the Bellagio ban and stuff like that was it became so critical that you valet, especially if like you're known or you're known to be wealthy, right? In some regard, if you're playing bigger games, like it's very critical to get a box or have like an account where you can just put your chips on account. Like very, very important to not go play like 10-20 and then leave the casino with 10K in your pocket,
Right.
because you're just such a big fucking target. Critical to valet. Like don't put yourself in positions to be outside of the purview of cameras. You don't want to be like in stairwells in the garage or, in blind spots in the garage where you could potentially get jumped. You don't want to get followed home. There are just like so many critically important things that you can do as a live player to lessen the likelihood of you being, I guess, like, marked or targeted, as a potential victim. And, I don't think that that's what happened here. I'm not insinuating that Corel should have done anything differently. It's just kind of an opportunity to remind everybody, like, when you're playing live, there are people, like, I can't tell you how many times in the last 15 years of me playing the Bellagio, where when I used to play public more, we were on the high side. I can't tell you how many guys that I'm certain just lost rent money at 1-3, 1-2, something like that, that are just like kind of, slinking around the high stakes area, where it's just like, you're in this rock or hard place where it's like, well, if I don't take my big chips off the table with me when I go take a piss, and, this shorthanded game is distracted because there's a hand going on or something I've seen happen multiple times. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive that there was a guy who got away with this like 8 years ago. People would come and sit in like when the Bellagio would get busy and would have like 2 or 3 10, 20, 40 games up top. Somebody would get up and go to the bathroom, leave their big chips on the table, whatever. And somebody would just like come and casually sit there and like swipe the big chips.
Sit at their
Yeah,
stack?
like sit at the stack, swipe the big chips
would
right
no one
away,
else
and then
have
just they get caught shortly thereafter.
If I
They'll
saw
be like,
someone do that, I'd be like, what are you doing?
right, and they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I thought I was.
They told me to come to this table.
Yeah, I thought this was 1-3 or whatever, right? And in the meantime, they've like kifed like 20K in flags
Sleight
or
of-
something like
with
that.
Sleight of hand. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it's just like, it's a lose-lose because in these situations, like, you're only going to be protected so much. Sure, they might be able to like find the footage of the guy. Like this just happened to Sashimi recently where she left her purse, her like designer purse on her chair at Bellagio and walked away, and somebody just snatched it. So like the purse itself was worth a few thousand. Then there was like 20 or 30K in the purse in chips.
Wow.
I mean, I always take my purse to the bathroom.
Have to, but even that feels like slightly dangerous, right?
I don't know. And when the bathroom's in the poker.
I mean, you have to take it over leaving it for sure, because nobody's going to watch it for you.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to take on that responsibility. But like there was a time where they started to have bathroom attendants in the Bellagio for like maybe the last 5 or 6 years. But there was a period of time where like a couple incidences of like higher stakes players taking chips off the table, going to the bathroom, and then getting hit in the head with a brick.
Oh.
So they would just take a brick to the side of the head, lose the fucking chips, and then just be sitting in a puddle of blood, and it's...
Damn.
That's... there's some inherent risk to this lifestyle that we've chosen, and I'm not excusing it or implying that, we should just factor this in to our livelihood or anything like that, but we have to acknowledge that it exists.
Yeah.
There is a certain risk that you're just going to lose X amount to robbery over the course of your career. And you just hope that
Especially
the longer
'cause
you
for
play, the
poker
less
players,
it is.
Like you get so desensitized to amounts of money
Right.
that are really massive to other people, like who aren't, in
Precisely.
poker. So it's like poker player will walk around with 10K, and then to someone else, that's like life changing, and so you kind of forget how much money you're actually walking around with.
Right.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Less negative free rolls are better.
Yeah. Landon pointed that out to me today. We left the office at like 3, knowing we were coming back in a couple of hours. And he goes, "You're not going to lock in?" I was like, let's just go. Like, I'll be back right after the gym. I'll be back. And he goes, "Oh, negative free rolls that are just born out of laziness." And I'm like,
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, it's less than 1%, but it's going to suck when it happens."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's probably true. Man, nobody should ever give
Leave
you
me
money.
alone.
Whoops. All right, let's wrap this thing up on a quick Am I the Asshole edition.
Yes, you don't talk about the business at in the podcast.
You fucking guys. All right, so let's start with a Doug Polk submission. He put a poll up 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, that says, you see somebody's hole cards in a hand. What do you do? And the 3 options are tell the table, tell the person that you saw, or tell no one. And some of the responses are interesting. So the tell no one answer was actually the most popular.
Really?
Are these people the asshole?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I don't see a world where it's okay to just see someoone's hole cards.
Wow, that's kind of
and say nothing.
surprising.
15,000 votes and 41% said tell no one.
Huh.
How much of it do you think?
Tough, man.
How much of it do you think is like almost an embarrassment to speak up, if you will? Like they see the information and there's a recoil of like, I don't want to embarrass this guy.
Oh,
Do you think any percentage of that people are that? Like, are we giving the benefit of the doubt to anyone?
Maybe a small
maybe
percent.
maybe a little bit, but I think it's please embarrass me if you see my cards. Like,
right.
Tell me.
This
did
happened
you
to me
see
at
my
Poker Go,
cards?
actually.
Yeah.
I was like peeling cards a little bit too wide, and I was sitting on the 1, and Brewer was in the 8, and he was like, "Yo, like I can just." He folded already, and then like he could see my cards, not intentionally, but just could. He'd be like, "Yeah, like, I can see your cards when you peel sometimes."
I've told so
that's-
many
Just be
people,
careful.
like, hey, be
Same.
careful. Like, I'll even I'll tell them, and then they'll still, and then I know they're
I
they're
know.
not. They're
if
not.
you
they're-
tell them and they still do it, whatever. I'm not gonna
But I will because I watch people's hands, it's just natural, when they're when it's act on
where
them,
they act.
and they'll just just put their hand up like that. I'm like, and I just I divert my eyes.
I know. I turn my
right?
my
Because
head.
I'm like, all right, I told you once, I'm just gonna divert my eyes. But in this situation, I think the 40% of people, I think it's that high because they have, they just have a notion that it's the person's responsibility to protect their hand, and if they don't, then hey, that's their fault. This is part of the game. If if you want to be lazy and reveal your cards to me, then that's on you. I think that's where they're coming from.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
it is.
I think so too. I think that very clearly makes them the asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, well, for sure, 100%.
Right? It's
Yeah, no, just you don't do that.
if you tell someone and
Yeah.
they don't change, is it up to you at some point to try to look away as much as you can.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
anyway.
I
like,
look away. Yeah, I try. Like I'll divert my eyes sometimes if
Avert
just
your
because.
eyes.
Yeah.
What do you think of this response by Fedor?
Yeah.
He said, I think it'd make a big difference if it's a pro or rec, wouldn't you? And then he follows up and says, I think there's a big difference. A pro knows he has to protect his cards, and it's part of the rules in the game. If I see cards because he doesn't protect them well, I wouldn't say anything. A rec, I'd tell very openly.
Yeah, well, what if it's like someone what if you're playing in, a random like 2-5 game? How do you know if the person's a rec or a pro?
Well,
I mean,
also, like,
sometimes those lines are blurred.
maybe it's their first time at that table and it's set up a little differently than what they're used to, and then they just are, or they're, I don't know.
I just for the life of me can't imagine.
Maybe
how
they
it
had a
matters.
goddamn
No, I
shoulder
don't think it
surgery
matters.
and they, you know,
Right.
you just don't know. I don't.
Like,
I
no
don't
matter
know.
what the reason is, why does your profession matter?
I don't think
Hey,
it matters.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
I
It's
think
actually if he's a dentist,
Like-
I will tell him, but otherwise, no.
I think Fedor's just like saying, well, recs pros, they should know better and they should know how to protect their hands. But like, it shouldn't matter, right? It's just like, this is not how we're trying to win at poker. We're trying to win at poker by, outwitting the person, not by seeing their cards and having
you
perfect
probably
information.
should have ran this one by the other members of the Integrity Council.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I feel yeah, that's
okay
a very fair point.
I'm
Like,
okay with cheating pros out of their money.
Hey,
but-
y'all passed the
Right.
vibe check on this one?
Yeah.
he
I
said,
don't know about that.
as a follow up, he said, by the way, I mean this in a heads up spot, not if it impacts other players. Then I would say what I saw, which I actually don't think that's accurate either. Like, if it's a multi-way pot, I don't think you say like, hey, I saw that he has ace of spades, king of clubs.
Kind of like when you
I think you just say like,
see
I
it-
saw his hand.
Yeah, when you see it, then you say it to them, and the table usually hears it, or someone else will be like, "Yeah, I saw it too."
Yeah, but even still, like, I don't think in this instance anybody's asking like, would you tell the table the exact cards that you saw? Because
No.
that's
What if you fold it and they're in a hand, and you're like, "By the way, he has."
Right.
I've seen that happen.
Right.
I've
yeah.
actually seen that.
Especially
happen.
if they put money in the pot
and
or
also
something.
like just alerting. Well, then there's this. So here's the flip side of this, right? So if you just say like, "Hey, man, I saw your hand," right, that kind of thing, but you don't acknowledge like what his hand is, you can kind of do that as like a free roll just all the time, just to freak people out.
Yeah.
And that's like also a little bit unsavory.
It's
I
funny
would
because
say.
I remember like playing. This was like playing, I don't know, 5-10 or whatever, back or 2-5, playing it like at Aria, and I didn't play there very often. And like I sat down, and a guy like, it wasn't very long after I had been sitting there, he was like, "Hey man, I can see your hand," and I was just like, I was pretty sure he couldn't. I was just like, is he doing that just to like fuck with me?
Imagine like you're in the 1 and they're
Yeah.
in the 7, and they're like, "Saw your hand."
How the fuck?
Right.
By the
Right.
way, I saw your. You're
That'd be a
like,
sick
you're like
prank,
on a,
actually.
you're like in a river, like all in spot, and they're just like, "I saw your."
I told you
Yeah.
what I did to this poor
Holy
woman.
shit, that's a 6-speech play.
I told you what I did to this poor woman in Florida because she was wearing reflective glasses, right?
Yeah.
Wait, what is this?
So she was a Blue Shark Optics pro, and she had on these reflective glasses. This must have been like 2014 or so, something like that. And, really obviously proud of the glasses and the sponsorship and everything else. But they were just so ridiculous and so gaudy and so
He
reflective.
was a Blue Shark Optic Pro?
Yeah.
Like they gave
Sponsored.
That's not important. They just, sponsored people and gave them sunglasses. But anyway, point is this hand came up between her and I where like she 3-bet me in a spot where she tended to be a little bit tight, and just the way it played out, it came like ace high and maybe 2 spades or something like that, and a 3rd spade on the turn, and like she bet. And as I was folding, I was just like, "Hey, I just want to let you know, I could see your hand in the reflection of your glasses. You have the ace of spades and a king." And
You just guessing.
I was just deducing based off of the line that like she certainly had ace king
oh my
and
God.
a really high probability she had the ace of spades. And she just goes white as a fucking ghost and turns over ace of spades king. And like very casually takes the glasses off. It was so fucking good, man.
That's really
it was
good.
just
You ever
so
see
good.
that meme where it's like whenever you feel stupid, just remember Kim Kardashian
Yes.
wore
Yeah, yeah,
sunglasses at a poker table
Yeah.
or
I've
mirrored
never
sunglasses.
seen
Yeah.
someone's cards in their sunglasses.
It's
Very hard.
very
You'd
hard.
have to really be looking, and then
I think
that's
if you were
weird.
like, I think if like they were like lifting up pretty
Well,
high and
they're
just holding them
in
there.
front of
No, some
Yeah.
of like the bridge cards that are like really big faced.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
That
strong probability you
Hate
could
those
catch like
cards.
paint cards
Right.
in
Yeah.
the
And
reflection.
sometimes all you need to do is see a color. And
Yeah,
that
right.
Could
Yeah.
It
determine,
could sway you one way or the other,
Right,
but
yeah.
it was just really funny because like I obviously couldn't see her hand,
Right.
but they were reflective enough where like I think it was close.
Yeah.
And I was like directly across from her. She was like 9, I was like 7 or something like that, you know?
Could you beat Ace King?
No. So like it was as I was folding the turn, like I'm mucking and I'm just like, hey, I think I can see your cards in your glasses. And she was like, no, you can't. And I was like, no, I think you had the ace of spades and a king. I think it was black, but I couldn't really make it out.
Give yourself some outs if it was like Ace Queen.
Yeah,
or spade or
it
something.
was just like cold.
Yeah.
So good. She actually might have went on to win that tournament. So God bless.
It's because she took the sunglasses off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think all in all, the end result of this is you're definitely an asshole if you aren't telling people that you can see their hands. I don't know if you remember, we used to play in Seneca Niagara in Niagara Falls, Buffalo side. There was this old man. Oh man, I just had his name on the tip of my tongue.
Slumpy.
Now I forgot. It may as well have been.
Stimpy, Gumby.
No. It was
Gumpy.
It was an old man, not my high school friend. Jesus Christ.
Actually, our high school friends are now old men.
That's true. No, but this guy was
As
like,
are we.
this
Thank
guy
you,
was
Brian.
like, this guy was like really, really old, like old man coffee type. And I remember being in a tournament, and like, he was the peel it up, like this kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I had to spend the entire fucking day. This guy just like wouldn't bust somehow, telling him every single hand. And like,
yeah, it's like
it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, after you tell him twice, you can just take advantage of it. But it just felt so wrong.
I just
Right.
like stopped. Like if I've already told them like a couple times, I just stopped telling them and I just look away.
that's what I did.
Yeah, I was
That's
trying to
what I
look
did,
away
yeah.
too.
They
But
are really old.
the
and
thing
I'm
is,
just
like, you're looking
It's
away.
exhausting to like.
Sure, but you're looking away and five
Right.
other people are looking at it.
Right.
So it's like you're just really doing yourself a disservice, and he's not getting the benefit of you looking away any longer.
It's true.
Yeah.
So it was like it was one of those things where it's like I just felt inclined to like tell him over and over and over,
Yeah.
and he was trying to like be a little bit more coy about how he brought it up off the table or whatever. But it's like I basically got to super use this fucking guy for an entire day and still couldn't bust him. Point is, do the right thing, kids. Tell your friends if you see their
and everybody
cards.
out there, protect your hand.
Right.
Protect your hand, and if you see somebody not protecting their hand, let them know.
I'm guilty of this when I'm in like the 5 seat.
I hate the
It's so bad because like you have to protect from both sides,
Right.
And you can only do so much. And I'm left-handed too, so I peel to the guy who hasn't acted yet, which is so much worse. Like I don't think people realize like how much better it is to be right-handed when you're in the 5 because you're protecting versus the people on your left, and generally the people on
So-
your right have folded.
I don't know if people still do this because it just seems dumb, but like peeling the cards long ways.
I peel them long ways.
Yeah.
It's so
on the
much easier to
side?
protect your hand if you peel them the other way.
No, it's
No,
yes,
it's
you
not.
fish.
What do you exactly? I don't understand
because
why you're a
more-
fish if you peel your cards
Because-
like this way. You can literally cover all of them and then look up and literally nobody can see them.
More
But if-
surface area is like peeled upwards.
No, but you can
on the
cover all
side,
sides
It's
when the-
only
with the long you can't-
only the side facing you is getting peeled.
I peel long ways.
You can
Yeah.
cover
No.
all sides long ways. That's not how you're getting sniped. You're getting sniped because they have a bird's
They have
eye
an
view
aerial
of your
shot.
hand.
They have a
Yeah.
phew.
They're looking at the same angle that you're looking at. It's not about the sides.
No,
Ryan's
because you can.
pissed right
They're
now.
basically
guys know.
looking over your shoulder. So it doesn't matter if you're like this or like this. They're still just like looking straight over your
because
shoulder.
You can no. That you
can't
guys
take
like
it.
if you're like this, they can't see because they're at like this angle. They're like that. They're not standing over top of you. If someone's standing behind you, yes.
Okay, but what's the difference between peeling on the side?
Because if you're peeling on the sides, then you the way you have to peel them up you can't like.
Wait, do you peel the whole card up?
No, I don't. Peel
I only peel the corner.
Yeah.
Vision is hard,
It's
man.
just a quick snap on the corner.
And you know what I do also, which people think is.
Against the face.
You know what I also do? Where you're gonna call
comes
me
the
a fish?
Italian.
Where you're gonna call me a fish? I look at one card at a time.
Uh-huh.
One card at a time because, and you know what?
I do that
It's
for different
so
reasons.
much easier to remember the suits. It is because you have that visual of just one card, and then you have a visual of one card. Or if you look at them both at the same time,
I
put
just
it
say
down.
in my head.
Who forgets the suits, bro? You're not playing Omaha.
I say
Oh,
it in
you
my
also
head.
you can look back.
You always tell stories. You're like, I didn't want to look back because I wasn't quite sure if I had the club or the dime or the club or the spade.
That's just because like I didn't care enough. Like I had Ace King and I didn't care to like memory bank the suit.
Right. But if you do it that way, you just never have to.
I the only reason I like looking one at a time is because it's like a gamble for me. Where it's
too.
like
Little sweat.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
of
But when
course.
you do it on the side, you can just do one and then you
Right.
just slide the
Like,
other
yeah,
one.
yeah.
But as soon as I
Double
get
snap.
dealt,
Nice
as soon as I get
little-
dealt the first card, I just look at it,
Yeah.
and then I get dealt the second one, I look at
I
it.
do that sometimes.
That's two
Yeah.
opportunities.
I usually
to snipe
do that
your
when
ass.
I'm bored. Like I
Snipe.
just then I can kind of like create a little game of like sweating the second card. But
I'm with you there. All right, let's get out of here on one more. Am I the asshole? It's somewhat related. Am I the asshole for revealing my brother's tale to his poker buddies? My 18-year-old brother. Sorry,
is it older or younger brother? I think that matters.
it's older. So I'm 18. My brother,
Classic
who's
younger
20,
sibling.
gets together with some friends to play poker every week. They don't bet serious money. It's mostly about bragging rights. Last time they all came to our house, I was home and I wasn't doing anything. So they asked if I wanted to play too. So I did. Now I'm not very good at it, but I would always win when I was up against my brother because whenever he's bluffing, he rests one of his elbows on the table and
amazing.
supports his chin on his hand. He does this all the time in life when he's anxious. So I kept winning, and I could tell my brother was getting really pissed. I said it out loud how I could tell when he was bluffing, and then he got really mad because I exposed his quote-unquote tell to
you
his
didn't
group.
tell them in secret.
That's what I
agree.
thought. Okay.
And
Way
unlike
different.
me, he'll keep playing with these people. I didn't think I did anything wrong. If anything, he should take my hint to be more perceptive. Either way,
He
wasn't an
turned
asshole
it
move on
into
my
a
part.
compliment
Okay.
for himself about how
It's funny.
perceptive he was.
It's funny.
I
how,
agree with him.
This
It's
is
so-
a classic younger sibling.
So it's so
by the
funny
way.
how like what you think when you read the headline as opposed to the actual
Exactly,
story, right? Because
exactly.
you read the headline, you're like, yeah, that's an asshole thing to do. You read the story, it's like, no, he did you a favor by he let everybody else know what your tell is, but he let you know what it is so you
Yeah.
can correct it.
Yeah, that's
huge
fine.
favor.
I was
because they
thinking
might figure
like
it out already.
if I was like I would do that to my brother, but I wouldn't tell him, and then I would just watch him get like
Damn.
increasingly more mad because like he can't win, and then I would tell him.
And it like they said, the stakes didn't matter, and they were kind of playing for fun.
So that's
like
hilarious.
that's
to me.
kind of
like
funny.
As a younger sibling, I would totally do
Yes.
that without telling
Right.
him.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God, you would never tell him until
No, I wouldn't tell him until he's like, I can't. Like he's
Until,
so
like-
mad, and then I'd be like, hee hee.
until poker night ended, right? It was like it's
Yeah.
all over. Like
Yeah.
doesn't want to play anymore. It's like wait, you can still play again because
Because it would be just like a funny thing to watch.
so good. You watch him mauled.
Hmm.
Yeah, not an asshole for this.
Yeah, this guy's nice. At least he told him.
Definitely not an asshole.
Not at all.
I think he could have weaponized this tell for
Yeah.
ages.
Yes.
Ages.
Could have played him heads up for rolls.
Yep.
Just insane to me that
Coming
somehow
in saying, "Hey, you guys want to double the stakes?" Or-
right. Yeah.
Took his brother for all he's worth.
Every
Sell
time you guys
action
get
to
in a
his
fight, you
friends.
could just be like, fine, let's play heads up.
Yeah.
Man. The internet got this one wrong. They voted him asshole.
Oh, come on.
I
Boo.
strongly disagree.
Yeah,
One
they
of
didn't
them
think
would
it
have
through.
figured it out maybe anyway.
Yeah.
So
But-
I think he helped him.
Yeah.
Wizard does not approve of this one.
Be good,
Um,
huh? It's just like he just buys pieces of all of his friends for the sell.
Yeah.
Then you're an
They're
asshole.
playing like $1 buy-ins.
that would be crossing the asshole line.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right.
Rude.
Cool. I got the hiccup. That's going to do it for us. I'm going to be gone for the rest of the week. These hooligans are going
Enjoy
to...
your trip up north to the cold Arctic, Burke.
I'm going to try, man. I'm going to try. I got some MTTs to play. I'm going to be following my advice. I'm going to try to cash out.
If you need any advice for the 1-3 streets, I got some for you.
Well,
The Canadian
trust me,
1-3
buddy.
I'll give you a tip of the day.
I'll be emailing you guys in the muck segments for sure.
You're gonna be in the muck so much.
Yeah, he's playing a
Can't wait.
tournament.
Stay tuned tomorrow for Strat Chat with Matt Hunt. He's going to be live in studio, coming to you with something fresh for this week for sure. We'll be debuting some In the Muck segments later in this week, Thursday and Friday for sure. I'll send updates from Montreal as best I can. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Excellent timing, Guapo. Well done. We'll be back at noon Pacific tomorrow with Strat Chat and Matt. We'll see you guys all then.
Peace.
Peace.